Right now on Morning News Now, trade war whiplash. This morning, President Trump's tariffs back on again, at least for now, after an appeals court paused a lower court ruling that struck them down.
America cannot function if President Trump, or any other president for that matter, has their sensitive diplomatic or trade negotiations railroaded by activist judges.
Now, worry on Wall Street as investors brace for a sell-off. Plus, tension growing as President Trump appears to pressure Fed Chair Jerome Powell to lower interest rates. We'll have an update from Washington. Developing this morning, progress toward peace in the Middle East after Israel agrees to a ceasefire deal proposed by the U.S. Now, Hamas considering the plan. Meanwhile, chaos and desperation in Gaza as Palestinians fight each other for much-needed aid. We'll bring you the latest. Also developing, tens of millions of people bracing for yet another round of springtime storms after days of severe weather all across the East Coast. We're tracking the conditions, the dangers, and what you can expect for your weekend. And is it a good time to buy? As we head into peak home buying season, we'll take a look at what you need to know if you are looking for a home. Always good tips in segments like this with some experts because it's complicated.
Question we've been asking for years, it feels like. Good to have you with us on a Friday morning. I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. Thanks for being here. We're going to get started this Friday morning with that ruling from a federal appeals court pausing a lower court order on President Trump's attempts to slap tariffs on international trading partners.
This decision will have wide-ranging impacts from Wall Street to Main Street. It comes a day after a federal trade court ruled against Mr. Trump, saying he exceeded his authority. This appeals court ruling will now stay in effect until at least June 9th. The director of the National Economic Council calls it a big victory for the president, just hours before the appeals court ruling after the trade court blocked those tariffs. The White House press secretary was critical of our nation's judicial branch.
These judges failed to acknowledge that the President of the United States has core foreign affairs powers and authority given to him by Congress to protect the United States economy and national security.
Meanwhile, President Trump is set to meet this afternoon in the Oval Office with Elon Musk on his final day as a special government employee. Musk announced this week his time in the White House was coming to an end.
NBC News White House correspondent Vaughn Hilliard joins us now from Washington with the latest on all these items. Vaughn, good to have you with us. So Peter Navarro is the White House senior counsel for trade and manufacturing. He believes the administration is going to find a way to institute the tariffs, even if it ultimately loses this case. Where do things stand right now on tariffs, and then where do we go from here?
Right. Peter Navarro is setting this up in the situation, even if they lose this case, because this appeals court pause does just that. It just pauses the U.S. Court of International Trade's ruling, effectively ending the president's tariffs for just at least a couple of weeks until the court said, the appeals court, until June 9th. That's when legal briefs are going to be filed as part of this appeals process of the U.S. Court of International Trade's decision to end these tariffs. And so for at least now, the tariffs are back on, which, as you noted, the White House is celebrating here. But still, the legal question is still being presented of whether the president has the unilateral powers in effectively usurping Congress's oversight of trade and tariffs. And so this is still at the heart of the question here. The president, for his part, was blasting those three judges that are a part of the U.S. Court of International Trade, asking where these judges came from in a social media post. Notably, one of them was actually nominated by the president himself during his first term.
Vaughn, we learned that President Trump met yesterday with Fed Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. As we mentioned, this at the White House. Interest rates, unsurprisingly, were the big topic from the meeting here. Now, the president, we know, has been pressuring the Fed to lower rates. What came out of that meeting?
The Fed said that this meeting was initiated at the request of the president. Now, Jerome Powell was actually nominated by President Trump during his first administration, but he has been on the receiving end of the president's ire for years now. Trump has repeatedly suggested that interest rates should be dropped. Just the other day, he referred to Jerome Powell as a fool. I want to let you listen to Caroline Levitt here, because this is unusual. Usually the Fed chair has separation from the executive branch, and the Fed acts very much independent of the White House's political desires. Take a listen, though, to the press secretary.
The president and I both saw the statement that the Fed put out after the meeting. That statement is correct. However, the president did say that he believes the Fed chair is making a mistake by not lowering interest rates, which is putting us at an economic disadvantage to China and other countries. And the president's been very vocal about that, both publicly and now I can reveal privately as well.
The Fed issued a statement saying, in part, that the decisions that are made by Jerome Powell are done, quote, based solely on careful, objective, and non-political analysis. But as you heard, the White House's press secretary suggests the president directly urging Jerome Powell to drop interest rates. So far, the Fed has refused to do that.
So, Vaughn, for some students, today might be the last day of school. For Elon Musk, today is his final day as a White House employee. To mark the moment, he is set to meet with President Trump in the Oval Office, something we expect to actually see for ourselves. Who's going to lead this Department of Government Efficiency after Musk is gone? And what is the nature of the relationship between these two men at this point, given Musk's recent criticism of the so-called Big Beautiful Bill?
Right. Doge's future is really in question. Not only is Elon Musk leaving the executive branch, but also two of his top advisors to Doge. Now, a lot of those underlings, those folks that were working on the technological side of this across the various executive agencies, it is not clear what their future is going to look like. But on Wednesday evening, the White House did confirm that Elon Musk's special government employee status had ended, though did not issue any sort of a statement about Elon Musk's departure. Just earlier this week, Musk, in an interview, criticized the GOP and White House-backed reconciliation package because it did not cut enough into the deficit, as Elon Musk suggested it should. And so this departure is a relatively quiet one for Elon Musk. That is, until it was announced by the White House that he'd be back here at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue this afternoon as part of remarks that the president intends to deliver from the Oval Office to the press.
We'll have to see what happens. Vaughn, thank you.
Well, the Trump administration is escalating its fight with elite U.S. universities over international students. The administration said it plans to revoke visas for many Chinese students and make the visa application process significantly harder to pass. It comes as the government's battle with Harvard is getting more tense by the day. NBC News correspondent Stephanie Gosk spoke to multiple students who all say they are concerned about their visa status.
At graduation, Harvard President Alan Garber getting a standing ovation when he praised graduates from around the world.
Around the world, just as it should be.
While just across town, a federal judge extended her order blocking the Trump administration from revoking all foreign student visas at the university. But it is only a small win for Harvard. Its international students still face legal limbo that could last months.
I'm not sure if I am able to return to Harvard for my fall semester, which begins in August.
Pakistani student Abdullah Shahid Sial was just elected student body president. He spoke to us from Australia.
We really want to come back.
The Trump administration accuses Harvard of fostering anti-Semitism on campus and implementing what it calls racist DEI policies. A Harvard University task force recently found a demonization of Israel and bullying of Jewish students on campus. But Harvard rejects the government's demands, which include sweeping oversight of its curriculum, hiring, and admissions. In retaliation, federal agencies froze billions of dollars in grants, including for cancer research.
Harvard has been a disaster. I'd rather see that money go to trade schools. And by the way, they're totally anti-Semitic at Harvard.
The move to revoke international student visas impacts more than a quarter of the student body. The Trump administration with a new escalation. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announcing the State Department will aggressively revoke visas for Chinese students, including those with connections to the Chinese Communist Party or studying in critical fields, and will revise visa criteria to enhance scrutiny of all future visa applications from China. 270,000 Chinese students are studying at U.S. colleges. Back here at Harvard, Maria Kuznetsova graduated. She's a human rights activist from Russia.
But what happens to you if your visa gets revoked?
I don't have any, other visa. If I get deported back to Russia directly, it's a very bad situation for me.
Our thanks to Stephanie Gosk for that report. While Harvard officials told NBC News that because of uncertainties surrounding their visas, dozens of international students have already asked about transferring.
You could call it the art of the pardon. The president's pardon power has certainly been on full display this week. Among those getting the ultimate reprieve, reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley. They were pardoned by President Trump 3 years after they were convicted on federal charges, including fraud and conspiracy. As NBC News White House correspondent Michelle Sindor explains, the president is throwing this lifeline to those he sees as allies.
I've got Todd over here being dramatic.
We're getting the first glimpses of the Chrisleys, freed by President Trump from federal prison, and the antics that made them darlings of reality TV for nearly a decade on Chrisley Knows Best.
I want young and hip, not suburban mom.
I am a hot suburban mom.
Already back on full display.
You just sprayed perfume everywhere.
I didn't have to deal with this in prison.
Savannah Chrisley, daughter of Todd and Julie Chrisley, posting these videos riding in a car alongside her father after his release.
Feel that muscle?
Oh, yeah, feel the muscle. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's hard.
Todd's jacked.
Jacked.
Savannah also posting this image on Instagram, still not showing the faces of her parents, but telling her followers, reunited and it feels so good.
They call them the Trumps of Georgia.
President Trump's pardon czar, Alice Marie Johnson, telling Fox News she believes the Chrisleys were politically targeted.
They don't pose a risk to society. In fact, I know that they're going to use their voices and their platform to uplift the president's agenda.
Lifetime confirming they will provide the Chrisleys with a platform, greenlighting a new docuseries that will premiere later this year. Writing in a press release, the Chrisleys don't know best anymore, but they're doing their best to be there for each other.
It will document all of these things, and we're excited.
I know that I look 30, but I feel 20.
Todd, Julie, and their family became household names with their original hit show on the USA Network. But in 2022, a dramatic fall from grace. The couple convicted of tax evasion and defrauding banks out of more than $30 million, sentenced to a combined 19 years in prison.
You don't understand it until it happens to you.
Savannah becoming her parents' chief advocate, even appearing at the Republican National Convention last July in support of another man who is claimed to be a victim of political persecution, President Trump.
My family was persecuted by rogue prosecutors in Fulton County due to our public profile and conservative beliefs.
The Chrisleys join a growing list of Trump's political allies, pardoned for their crimes. Ex-Virginia Sheriff Scott Jenkins, a prominent supporter of the president who was convicted by a jury of bribery and corruption and sentenced to 10 years in prison, also had his convictions washed away Monday. Scrutiny is mounting over who President Trump says he may pardon next. The men convicted of plotting to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
I did watch the trial. It looked to me like somewhat of a railroad job.
The governor responding to the possibility that her would-be captors may go free.
You know, very disappointed that they're even considering it.
Michelle Sindor, NBC News.
Let's get you some weather now. Severe weather is expected up and down the East Coast this weekend. For more details on how it could impact you, we'll take a look at your forecast.
Yeah, Angie Lastman is here with that. Angie, good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning to you. Finally Friday, and unfortunately, we've got some rain in the forecast. Could interrupt those weekend plans. And even this morning, we're starting out with kind of a busy forecast. We've got some of these showers and a couple of thunderstorms centered across parts of the Ohio Valley, Southern Plains, specifically Texas, dealing with a line of thunderstorms with a whole lot of lightning associated with it working to the east. And then we've got this moisture working offshore for the mid-Atlantic, who has been quite soggy over the past 24 hours. You're going to get a break if you live in the mid-Atlantic from the rain for now, but then we're going to start to see this ramp up here again as we get into the later parts of today and even tomorrow across parts of the east. In the meantime, we've got 21 million people under these flood watches. You can see they extend across parts of the mid-Atlantic, specifically Washington, D.C., right in the bullseye of that, and that will continue here as we get through basically today and even into tomorrow. But notice what happens. This low pressure system with this extending cold front works a little farther to the east. It brings a line of thunderstorms that could potentially spark up and be severe anywhere from Delaware to Alabama. But we're also going to see this heavy rain work back into the mid-Atlantic. So this is why I said you'll get a bit of a break now as that first wave of moisture works offshore. But then we've got more where that came from. And speaking of more where that came from, all that moisture works up into the northeast for your Saturday. So specifically interior New England is where we'll see the heaviest of that rain. But we could could still see a couple of those strong storms across parts of the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. Today, here's where we're going to watch. Essentially, Washington, D.C. to southern Georgia. We've got 35 million people included in this. The hail, the wind, main threats that we're going to look for, but a couple of tornadoes not out of the question as that system works to the east. We'll still be looking for additional rainfall on those really already saturated grounds across this region. So 1 inch to 2 inches, maybe upwards of 3 inches in some spots. So just watch for some localized flooding through tomorrow. Big picture look of the weekend. Boy, it's the rain across the Northeast, but basically everywhere else we're going to see a whole lot of sunshine. We've got warm weather expected out west, so warm that we potentially will see some record highs broken. And we've already got those heat alerts in effect across parts of the west, essentially the Rockies to California. We'll see temperatures way above normal. We're talking triple digits for a lot of folks. And again, those record highs will be possible for the first half of the weekend. The south also deals with some temperatures that are above normal. We've got 80s on tap along the Gulf Coast, and then that warmth works into the Midwest. So Sunday looks quite bright across the midsection of the country with temperatures well into the 80s, even as far north as the northern plains. And guys, don't worry, the sun returns for the Northeast as we get into Sunday, really living up to its weekday name, Sunday.
we look forward to chatting with you next week.
Yeah,
next week we'll be having fun conversations.
Yes, you will.
All right.
Thanks, Angie. Got it.
2 men are still on the lam exactly 2 weeks after a daring escape from a jail in New Orleans. Now, 8 of those men have since been recaptured, but the manhunt is ongoing for those 2 elusive fugitives. Well, in Arkansas, former police officer Grant Harden is still on the loose after breaking out of a prison nearly a week ago. Harden was convicted of rape and murder. Authorities leading the search say that trying to find him is like looking for a needle in a haystack. NBC News correspondent Priya Sridhar has the latest.
This morning, the pressure to find a convicted killer and rapist who escaped from a prison in Arkansas is building, with the FBI now offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of former police chief Grant Harden. The Arkansas Department of Corrections vowing to leave no stone unturned during their search.
I think everyone is confident that we will find him.
Authorities say Harden made his escape through a secure gate by impersonating a corrections officer.
Here in Calico Rock, we're about 3 miles away from the prison where Harden escaped from, and this area really illustrates the many different ways he could have gotten away from here. He could have hopped on a train, gotten into a car, and hitched a ride, or even floated his way down the river.
One resident and business owner says the community was shocked to learn Harden had been at the medium security prison.
We didn't know that this was a prison that was housing murderers and rapists.
But she's less concerned about her safety.
People around here know everybody. I don't think he would be anywhere around here that anybody would be able to identify him.
In Louisiana, authorities raising the stakes, now offering a $50,000 reward per inmate for any information that leads to the arrest of the 2 who remain at large after the massive prison break in New Orleans 2 weeks ago. One, a convicted murderer, the other, a man who had escaped from a different jail in 2019.
We want you to know that we will find them.
The other 8 inmates who escaped that prison have since been recaptured, and authorities have arrested a total of 14 people in connection with their escape. And in Pennsylvania, the search was quickly over for a prisoner who fled from outside a courthouse early Thursday morning. Video showing the moments more than a dozen law enforcement officers arrested the suspect in a yard just 2 hours after the escape.
Our thanks for that report. Well, here in New York, we're learning new details in that crypto kidnapping and torture case that has gripped the city. In a new development, 2 NYPD officers have been placed on modified leave. The department is investigating whether they were involved with the incident due to private security work they were doing. This comes as one of the suspects, 37-year-old John Woltz, was indicted by a grand jury yesterday and denied bail. NBC News correspondent Sam Brock has the details.
2 members of the New York Police Department have been placed on modified duty, guns and badges temporarily taken, according to the NYPD, as they're investigated for any link to 2 crypto businessmen, John Woltz and William Duplessis, accused of kidnapping an Italian investor before his escape 17 days later and torturing him inside of his Soho townhouse, trying to pry away his Bitcoin password. Law enforcement sources familiar with the case say that includes a detective in Mayor Adams' security detail who was working off duty at the time and provided security at that townhouse. The NYPD telling NBC News members of the service were modified yesterday. The matter is under internal review.
How did this possible connection come to light?
Ever since this incident took place, detectives are scouring everything that happened. At some point, the detectives identified a couple of members of the NYPD that may have had interactions with the Italian tourist. And at that point, the investigation widens.
Terry Monahan is a former NYPD chief of department. Sources say that detective picked up the Italian tourist at the airport, but where they traveled next and whether either member had any knowledge of what was allegedly happening in that townhouse is under review.
Did they know anything that was going on? Were they involved in the criminality? This is all going to come out over the next couple of weeks as the investigation continues.
Monahan says any sort of off-duty security job has to be pre-approved. Whether this one was is also part of the investigation. Mayor Adams not addressing the matter during a public appearance, but a spokesperson told NBC News every city employee is expected to follow the law, including our officers, both on and off duty. We are disturbed by these allegations. Attorneys for both men accused of kidnapping and torture have declined to comment. Sam Brock, NBC News, New York.
This morning, a key witness in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking and racketeering trial is expected to return to the stand for cross-examination. The woman is being referred to by the pseudonym Mia. She testified for the first time yesterday, saying that Combs sexually assaulted her multiple times. She's one of several former personal assistants speaking out against Combs in this case. Her testimony was so emotional at times she could hardly speak. NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas has the details from the courtroom.
Gripping and emotional testimony from a former personal assistant to Sean Diddy Combs, who wept as she told jurors that her boss repeatedly sexually assaulted and raped her. Testifying under the pseudonym Mia to protect her anonymity, she recounted an incident at his Beverly Hills home when he entered a bedroom where she was sleeping and began having sex with her. Through tears, saying, quote, "He told me to be quiet. He put himself inside of me. I just froze." Another time, she said Combs forced her to perform oral sex. When asked why she never reported the sexual assaults, she testified, "I was going to die with this. I didn't want anyone to know, ever," calling the assaults the most traumatizing experiences of her life. Combs has pled not guilty to all charges. Mia also testifying about grueling conditions during the 8 years she worked for Combs. She said that she once worked 5 days without sleep, leading to a physical breakdown. She said, "He has thrown things at me. He has thrown me against the wall. He has thrown me into a pool."
Mia's testimony that she worked for days on end without sleep and that Combs threw things at her and was otherwise violent goes towards the government's burden of proof for racketeering. They have to show things like forced labor, and even the violence helps to prove some of these what are called predicate crimes for a RICO or racketeering charge.
Mia also recounted seeing Combs repeatedly assault his on and off girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, saying, "I've seen him attack her. I've seen him throw her on the ground. I've seen him crack her head open." Testifying that in 2012, Combs became enraged that she and Ventura went to a party at the home of the late musician Prince. She said Combs chased them and then attacked Ventura. Mia also saying that she witnessed the incident that led to this gash on Ventura's forehead. She said Combs threw Ventura into a bed frame, adding, "It was the first time I realized like the severe danger that we were actually in." Chloe Malas, NBC News.
Much more to come here on Morning News Now. Later this hour, could it be a dangerous decision? Growing criticism over the potential impacts of federal budget cuts on America's drug crisis, why some say cutting back could cost lives.
At first, after the break, though, new developments on ceasefire talks between Israel and Hamas as Israel agrees to a proposal by the U.S. We will be right back.
Welcome back. Wildfire season is just getting started, but already massive fires in Canada are forcing thousands of people to evacuate. Authorities have declared states of emergency in several provinces. That includes Saskatchewan, where more than a dozen fires were burning yesterday. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe declared the state of emergency. He pointed to a significant lack of moisture in northern parts of the province, saying that's one reason the fires are growing so intensely. This spring alone, the province has seen more than 200 wildfires, and America will soon feel the effects, with smoke expected to drift down toward the Great Lakes in the coming days.
Now to Gaza, where the White House says ceasefire negotiations are underway to bring an end to the war in the enclave. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed yesterday that the president's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, submitted a new ceasefire proposal to both Israel and Hamas. This is as a new aid system backed by the U.S. and Israel is getting off to a chaotic start in Gaza as thousands of Palestinians grow desperate in the face of hunger. NBC News international correspondent Ralph Sanchez has more.
The desperate search for food in Gaza is turning increasingly deadly. A hungry crowd storming this UN warehouse, some climbing through holes ripped in the metal walls, hoping for a single bag of flour. 2 people were crushed to death, according to hospital authorities, and 2 more killed by gunfire. It isn't clear who fired the fatal shots. But with hunger stalking Gaza's children, families will do almost anything to get something to eat. We haven't seen any food in 5 days, this father says. Under intense international criticism, Israel has now lifted its nearly 3-month blockade, which stopped all food and medicine getting into Gaza. But the new aid system, run by an American NGO approved by Israel, is off to a chaotic start. Thousands entered these fenced-off pens on Tuesday, hoping for food from the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. But their numbers quickly swelled beyond control, overwhelming the system. Overhead, Israeli helicopters firing flares, while the IDF says its ground troops fired warning shots into the air. Local authorities say more than 40 people were injured in the stampede. The foundation denies losing control, saying, for a brief moment, the GHF team intentionally relaxed its security protocols to safeguard against crowd reactions to finally receiving food. The UN says the new system is only delivering a fraction of the food needed.
This is comparable to a lifeboat after the ship has sunk.
At the UN Security Council, this is how the Palestinian ambassador described the situation in Gaza.
Excuse me, Mr. President. I have grandchildren. I know what they mean to their families.
While Israel's representative defending the new aid system.
The UN must stop spreading panic and start moving aid.
All the while, relentless Israeli airstrikes pounding the Strip. One targeting this school in Gaza City, where displaced families were sheltering. Israel says Hamas was using it as a command center, but did not provide evidence. 36 people were killed in the attack, according to hospital authorities. This little girl seen emerging from the flames, one uncertain step after another. Her name is Ward, Arabic for flower. She's 5 years old, and our team in Gaza found her in her uncle's arms the next day. The fire was all over. It burned my hands, she says. Her mother and 5 of her siblings were killed in the strike. Far too much for any child to bear.
Well, the White House says that Israel has accepted the new ceasefire proposal. Meanwhile, Hamas said in a statement this morning the Israeli response to the proposal fails to meet the demands of the Palestinian people, but that leadership is undertaking a, quote, thorough and responsible review of it. Well, calling out millions of Americans in billions of dollars of medical debt.
I did not like owing anybody any money, but I also don't like paying for something that I don't know whether I'm paying for it.
When we come back, the growing calls for transparency on hospital bills. This is Morning News Now. We are back with a closer look at an issue that many Americans struggle with, medical debt. The federal government's Consumer Financial Protection Bureau says about 100 million Americans owe more than $220 billion total in medical debt. Adding to the burden, many consumers say they can't get a transparent breakdown of the bills. NBC's Liz Kreutz has the story of one couple who had more than $100,000 in bills with no explanation.
3 years ago, Blake Pfeiffer went for emergency stomach surgery in Colorado Springs. He's a self-employed plumber and says at the time he couldn't afford insurance. He knew he'd have to pay out of pocket, but says the bills that came from the University of Colorado health system made no sense.
To this day, though, you still don't understand.
I still don't understand. I don't. No.
The initial charges for his 7-day stay, $104,000, which quickly became $58,000 because of discounts for being a self-pay patient. But Blake and his wife Dawn say bills just kept coming and without explanation.
We literally had bills scattered all over the floor, and it covered the entire office.
I get a bill for $20-some, and then I get a bill for $145, and then I get a bill for $75.
They say they stopped paying when no one at the hospital would explain the charges. Then they heard from a collection agency.
I did not like owing anybody any money, but I also don't like paying for something that I don't know whether I'm paying for it.
The couple went to a patient advocacy group for help and were told that at the time, the hospital wasn't publicly displaying many of the charges a new law required. But that wasn't the biggest issue. For some of the tests he received, Blake was being charged far more than insured patients were charged for the same thing. That's despite UC Health's own financial statement saying self-pay patients should typically pay a similar amount. Here's one example. UC Health's public price data showed the hospital was charging insured patients anywhere from $6 to $53 for a common metabolic panel blood test, depending on who the insurer was. But Blake's records show even after his cash discount, he was being charged roughly $103.
He didn't get a deal. He was actually charged over 2 times more than what would be a appropriate price.
Patient rights advocate co-founder Cynthia Fisher says the issue is rampant across the country.
UC Health is one example, and hospitals are using and hiding also not only their prices, but they're hiding behind aggressive collection agencies that are going after these patients.
In a statement to NBC News, UC Health declined to talk about Blake's situation, citing a notice of a potential lawsuit from his lawyer. But it did dispute the lawyer's allegations and noted that the state of Colorado has found their hospitals to be in compliance with transparency rules. The patient advocacy group also says the health system is now compliant with those rules.
Do you feel like there was any transparency in this process?
No. Nobody was interested in talking to us.
The Pfeiffers say their frustrations primarily stem from that confusion and lack of communication to help understand what the bills were for. And they now have this request to hospitals.
Be more transparent. Treat people like you would want your family being treated.
Liz Kreutz, NBC News, Colorado Springs.
Well, staying with the larger issue of healthcare access, a growing number of experts are worried that proposed budget cuts could reverse progress the U.S. has made in fighting the opioid crisis. New CDC data shows that overdose deaths dropped 27% last year. That is the largest one-year decline on record. Now, the Trump administration wants to cut billions of dollars to the CDC and other agencies that help combat the drug crisis. NBC News Daily anchor Morgan Radford went to one small town that has been hard hit by the crisis to see the impact.
That was me when I was sober, actually.
Rebecca Queen says she's been addicted to opioids for 17 years.
I probably use every 3 to 5 hours.
But 4 months ago,
Here's the needles.
that addiction almost cost her her life.
They called it death dope. And this is how I'm saying it. And the addiction is I sought it out.
You sought out the death dope?
Death dope.
Dope that would be so powerful it would bring you near death?
Correct. I had died. 2 Narcans brought me back.
Now, health officials here say that Narcan, a drug also known as naloxone, that works in minutes to reverse overdoses, is in jeopardy.
What if I told you that there are proposed government spending cuts that make it harder for you to get Narcan?
I think they're trying to kill us off. We're a nuisance. We're like raccoons and pigeons.
The Trump administration is looking to cut $56 million in annual grants that fund naloxone distribution. Here in Huntington, West Virginia, which attorneys for the city have called ground zero for the opioid crisis,
you can't even walk your kids down the road without probably stepping on a needle.
Local health officials are taking drastic action.
So this is one of the closets we keep the Narcan.
So you are stocking up on Narcan right now?
We are gathering as much as we can.
In case those funding cuts come?
Yes.
Connie Pretty leads the Huntington Quick Response Team.
Is this the QRT headquarters?
Yes, it is.
Which deploys to overdose calls with specialists trained to save lives and to help guide people out of addiction.
When is the last time someone has used Narcan to save you?
When I overdosed.
About a year ago?
Yep.
Pretty met with First Lady Melania Trump to discuss the opioid crisis in 2019, 3 years after our team visited Huntington when the city was overwhelmed by overdoses.
Now, what is the bleach for?
To clean dirty needles.
We went back in 2020 during a pandemic spike.
This is a track mark.
And now the city has finally managed to get overdose calls down by more than 70% from their peak.
And there's a lot of people here that...
A hard-fought battle that Pretty fears they may have to fight again. The Trump administration is looking to cut more than $6 billion to the CDC and other federal agencies that directly address the opioid crisis.
We're a small community. The funding is just so important, I can't even tell you.
I wonder how you wage a war on drugs without paying for it.
You can't. You've just got to decide, are lives important enough to save? Is the money more important than the good that you will do?
Do you think voters understand that decision?
I don't think so. Am I trying to stand here and say there's no government waste? No. But saving lives is not government waste.
Cuts that would affect people like Silly McElfresh, who says Pretty's team saved her life after years of addiction.
I was on fentanyl for many years, died so many times. Sorry.
Take your time.
But I tried to go to treatment. Most people did not care about me at that point.
Did the quick response team save you?
Yes, multiple.
With Narcan?
Yes.
Now 3 years sober, she uses her experience as a certified peer counselor to help others escape addiction once and for all.
What happens if funding goes away?
People start dying again. People will start dying again.
Morgan Radford, NBC News.
Coming up, home sweet home. Peak home buying season is underway. But after months of volatility, is it really a good time to buy?
When we come back, we'll talk to an expert about what to expect if you're looking for a home. This is Morning News Now.
We are back with a look at the state of the housing market.
Yeah, pending home sales in the U.S. fell by more than expected in April amid rising mortgage rates and growing economic uncertainty.
So here with more on America's housing market is real estate broker Bianca D'Alessio. She's also founder of the Masters Division at Nest Seekers International. Good to have you with us. So let's talk more about these pending home sale figures, what that means, and just what is the state of the housing market right now, which I feel like we've been talking about for years, especially with like our interest rates going to drop. Where are we at right now?
Of course, it is no surprise that we saw a drop in April numbers. We felt a tremendous amount of stock market volatility, and we all know that that greatly impacts the real estate market. What we've seen in May is a lot of restabilization across the market, and I think we'll continue to see that. You know, I think that right now there's a lot of opportunity for buyers to get better deals amid all of that, although the interest rate environment definitely makes things more challenging with affordability.
Right. So kind of a mixed bag in terms of like how good the news is for buyers. What tips do you have for somebody who's ready to start looking for a home and thinks like, okay, well, who knows when interest rates are going to come down, so maybe it's a good time?
I think for so long it's been a seller's market and buyers haven't felt power to negotiate, to throw out offers, to get a conversation started. And that's what I would recommend. If you like a home, if you are in the market, get a conversation started with the seller by throwing out an offer at a price point that you feel comfortable and see where it goes from there. Because there is no telling where a seller will transact or do a deal until you at least put a number in front of them. And so that's why I say there's opportunity for the first time in a really long time for buyers who are in the market who want to take advantage of getting deals.
So if there are these deals, if prices are going down, do we have an idea of how long that could last? What might impact it? Does it depend on interest rates?
I don't think we're going to see tremendous price drops. I think we'll see some repricing, a little bit of restabilization, but I don't think we're going to see these drastic numbers coming down just because all different market prices in the market are responding and acting differently based on how many buyers there are at that price pool. So I think, you know, really, if you're in the market, you just have to get started somewhere and don't wait on the sidelines for rates to come down, because the moment they come down, even when we feel the smallest shift, we feel a rush of buyers, and it happens like clockwork every single time.
There's been, like I know in the last year when I bought a home, like I was in a bidding war. Like, does the fact that there's sort of this influx of homes on the market mean that stress might go away a little bit? Like, do you think if you're throwing a number out, like maybe you're not up against a million other people?
I think it depends on where you are. It depends on at the price point you're at. You know, there's a lot of areas of the market that we're still seeing 14 bids. There's also other areas where we were seeing bidding wars a year ago that we're not right now. So I think there is no blanket answer. The market is super local. It's very price specific. And so it's really, you have to work with someone who's educated, who's walking you through the process. And the only way you're going to start to get confidence in the real estate market, when there hasn't been a lot of it for buyers, is to just, get started.
Yeah, that's and that's the hardest part sometimes, right?
It's so hard, yes.
It's a good reminder, though, to look for your expert locally.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Bianca, thank you so much. Good to have you with us.
Yeah, great to see you. We've got more money news for you now. Hyundai may bump up prices a bit to deal with tariffs here in the U.S.
CNBC Savannah now has that and some other money news. Savannah, good morning.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Savannah. Good morning to you. So Hyundai is considering a 1% price increase across its entire U.S. lineup as it looks to offset the blow from U.S. tariffs. Bloomberg reports the price hikes could come as soon as next week. Hyundai is also likely to raise fees on shipping and options such as floor mats and roof rails to help it avoid having to raise the base prices further. Hyundai hasn't commented. All right, Costco says it's staying focused on lowering prices where possible while leaning on its Kirkland brand and rerouting shipments to soften the blow of tariffs. Now, Costco says raising prices would be a last resort, unlike Walmart, which said it would have to start hiking prices this month. Costco says it stocked up early on some summer items like patio furniture and is bringing in more U.S.-made goods such as mattresses and pillows. And Tinder is testing a new feature to let paid subscribers add height preferences to their profiles. Tinder Gold and Premium subscribers will have access to the feature. Now, the setting will indicate a preference versus functioning as like a hard filter, and that means it won't block or exclude profiles, but will instead inform your recommendations, guys.
All right, Savannah, thank you so much.
And no one ever lies about their height, so that'll work out
No,
perfectly.
never. That is so true. Isn't that? That's probably the most common thing. Coming up, they're making waves in the world of social media with a new app all about making connections without likes, followers, or even profiles.
Yeah, when we come back, we're going to talk to this pair of Gen Z business partners behind the platform. Stay with us. You're watching Morning News Now.
We are back making waves with a Z this morning with two Gen Zers who are shaking up the tech world. This pair of Ivy League friends turned business partners. Listen to this, raised more than $3 million in just 14 days to launch Series. It is a platform by students for students, but it's not your typical social network. There are no profiles, no followers, no likes. Instead, Series uses artificial intelligence to survey your actual likes and interests to help Gen Zers make real-time connections with other friends, mentors, and even investors. And get this, these guys are only 21 years old, still students themselves. Series co-founders Sean Hargrove and Nathaniel Johnson join me here in studio this morning. Good morning, guys. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks for making the trip down, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys coming in so much. This is so exciting. So first, I think people might hear, okay, you have to have this .edu email address. It's meant for college students. You made it while you're students and think, that sounds like another app I've heard made by a guy named Mark Zuckerberg. Tell us, though, the differences. Like, Series is not like other social media platforms. Explain it to me, Sean.
Yeah, Series is the first AI social network. And what we mean by that is we want to, instead of relying on vanity metrics, we want to use who you are and what you bring to the table, and more importantly, who you know in your life that can help, so that we can facilitate meaningful connections.
And how does it find out, like, what your real likes and interests are and then make those connections?
Yeah, this is what an AI friend does, is it'll essentially learn a bit about you and what you do, who you know, and it'll actually be able to make these warm introductions via group chats, right? So you'll text it via iMessage, you'll say, this is who I am, these are who I want to meet, and it'll essentially match you with an algorithm we made that will connect you via iMessage to meet the right person at the right time.
Tell me about what you're hearing from people, like some of the success stories here, like who's been matched up?
Oh, I mean, just going through the logs recently, I think the craziest story this week was someone met their technical co-founder. So that's someone who can code and help out with whatever development that person was in need of. And so as we did a lot of testing this year, and even just recently launched a new iteration of the platform. We're starting to slowly but surely see a lot of these unicorn cases where students are feeling value added to their lives.
Wow. Do you feel that this will really end up helping people your age build businesses? Like, is that going to be one of the coolest things that comes out of this?
Oh, 100%. I mean, beyond even businesses, we've seen use cases come from dating to people learning about education to fitness, right? There's a new wave of social media in the sense that we can have people connect for the right reasons that's beyond, right, businesses, but we're going after this, like, student entrepreneurial community. So that's a primarily use case we're seeing right now.
Yeah. How are you finding students? Tell me a little bit about what you're doing. I know, like, something kind of like a college tour.
Yeah, that was one of the most recent feats we did. Got a lot of visibility around this idea and the amount that we raised, and knew that we couldn't wait until the fall semester to show the world that this is real and it's happening now. And so Nathaniel and I took a split decision to kind of leave class behind for a few weeks and to traverse the schools in a nation like Penn, Princeton, Howard, UCLA. A lot of traveling, but it was not in vain because we got to connect with so many of our users and then also share our story and the product's moat to so many new potential leads.
How did that go over with y'all's professors?
We were able to settle things at the end, right? But as Shauna mentioned, right, we had to make sure to make a decision if we really want to grow this at the right scale, the right time, just like the analogous Facebook story. We had to kind of leave school behind for a second and go on these college tours. And it was really cool to see the students from all the way from UCLA to Brown to Princeton to Howard to kind of recognize us and what we're doing, right? To where we know that this is, you know, making waves in a sense to build the next version of social media. Right?
Dude, thanks for that.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the number, the amount that y'all raised and just how quickly you did it. I mean, $3.1 million in 14 days. Part of what we want this series to really do for people is, like, if you're a young person listening, like, you've got a big idea, how do you even remotely go about starting it? How did you do that? Like, where do you start to even find $3.1 million? How'd that work?
Yeah, well, obviously we took time to learn what venture capital and going the venture-backed route would take. So spent our second years really just studying the game and quickly realized that I think like over 90% of first-time funded companies' projects, it's because you had someone in your warm network to help out or to, you know, intro you to your first investor. And so that kind of happened to us, right? We grew our network through the first couple of years of school, right, and realized that that was the way to, you know, get capital, right? And obviously, you know, founder market fit, being college students, tackling a college-centric problem made sense in a lot of people's minds. And moreover, it's a problem that we're dealing with in terms of vanity metrics being the sole focus of current medians of social media that I think the world is ready to see tackled in a different way.
When you got that number, I mean, how excited were you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we were ecstatic. I think, as Sean mentioned, you know, reportedly, if this is the most raised in the current Ivy League of students, right, this was a sort of benchmark that we hadn't known or even strived to reach, right? So talking to friends and family, to peers, going on this college tour, as you mentioned, a lot of people were surprised that this was possible, right? Because there's always this notion that you have to complete school first to accomplish something like this or have industry experience. I think in us doing this now, we're able to set the precedent that, you know, if you can envision something or even beyond what you envision, right, it is possible. And that's also what Series.so provides.
It's so cool seeing you guys do it as friends, too. Just like kids you met in college. Now you're seniors in college and this is happening. We only have a few seconds left, but I'd love for you both to kind of complete this for us. We like to say Gen Z is...
I would say social. Right?
Social.
That's one of the biggest things that we've seen, and that's definitely what we're building Series for, right, is to make the right connections through our own generation.
Different. I mean, that's not the most specific word, but we are different, and just like every generation need to be treated so. And yeah, I think we're building a platform that will allow just all the different voices that make up our generation find success.
Sean and Nathaniel, thank you for coming in. It's great to meet y'all, and Series is live now. There's more information on your screen where you can sign up. Remember, though, the platform's for students, so you'll need a .edu email address to join. Thanks, guys, so much. Great to meet you.
Thank you.
All right, finally this hour, we're introducing you to one high school graduate who deserves all the pomp and circumstance. Michael Baker captivated millions of folks on TikTok for a peculiar yet selfless deed he did just hours after getting his diploma. NBC News correspondent Priscilla Thompson shares his story.
Just hours after this monumental achievement.
Michael McKenna Quayerick Baker.
High school grad Michael Baker wasn't out celebrating with his classmates, but here, behind the counter at this Georgia Burger King where he works, medals and all, jumping in to help his swamped co-workers.
He caught my attention.
Spotted from the drive-thru by Maria Mendoza, whose own daughter had graduated from the same school that day. Maria posting this video on TikTok, now with more than 3.7 million views. And it didn't end there. Days later, Maria returned with a special surprise.
Community wanted to help you out without knowing if you wanted to go to college or not.
More than $60,000 raised for college by strangers online, moved by his work ethic. Moving Michael and his mom to tears.
I was thinking about taking a gap year because I ain't ever got the money for school.
But now, from Burger King to a college dream.
I feel like amazing because I've watched videos of this happen and I ain't never really think it would happen to me. And I
am so thankful it happened to you.
Yes.
Thanks to a whopper of a gift for a job well done. Priscilla Thompson, NBC News.
A great way to end this hour of Morning News Now.
Stay with us, though. The news continues right now. Good morning. I'll start with the good news. It's Friday. Thanks for being here. I'm Savannah Sellers.
I'm Joe Fryer. Right now on Morning News Now, weekend wall up. Mother Nature doling out another dangerous deluge of severe weather. Millions across the South are impacted. The system even spawning this tornado just south of Atlanta. And we're not out of the woods yet. Our Angie Lastman has your full weekend forecast in just a moment. Also this morning, it looks like President Trump's tariff crusade is back on, at least for now. A federal judge pressing pause on an earlier ruling from a trade court that called those sweeping levies unconstitutional. So how are the major markets reacting, and what might it all mean for your bottom line in the near future? We are watching your wallet. Plus, with the summer travel season taking off, it might be a good time for a little refresher on airplane etiquette. The hot international destination that's now cracking down on one antsy flyer faux pas. And if it's Friday, that can only mean one thing here on Morning News Now. Later in the hour, we have got your front row seat to everything from the world of Hollywood and beyond that you simply cannot miss, including the latest chapter in Karate Kid.
Yes.
Ralph Macchio still looks like he's in his 20s.
And you know what? Look, the box office has been doing well. So
there you go.
A lot more to come.
All right, let's start this hour with that powerful storm system sweeping across the country. It is expected to stick around through the weekend in some spots. In the southeast, a suspected tornado touched down on Interstate 75 just south of Atlanta. Storms are in the forecast all weekend as the National Weather Service is warning of more tornadoes and possibly hail in the region.
And in the southwest, floods are the real concern. Look at this. Heavy rain, flooded rivers, washed out roads. Rescue crews had to save several of these drivers who got stuck in the rushing water. Then out west, parts of California, Nevada, it is expected to be hot, with meteorologists saying temperatures between 10 and 25 degrees warmer than usual will be seen over the next few days. So what can you expect for your area this weekend? Let's start out this morning with a check of your Morning News Now weather.
Angie Lastman joins us with that. Angie, good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning to you. Yeah, we made it to Friday, but unfortunately, we've got a busy one on tap when it comes to the weather this weekend. Let's start with that heat that you mentioned, because we've already got plenty of alerts up out west, essentially west of the Rockies, all the way to the coast. We've got some sort of heat alert up. Where you see that brighter pink, that's a heat warning. Las Vegas included in that. Where you see the heat advisory, we've got places like Sacramento, Bakersfield included. And as we specifically get into today and tomorrow, those peak heating time frames, we're going to see a lot of folks ending up into the triple digits. You can see Las Vegas, 104 today, 103 tomorrow. We've got Sacramento above 100 as well. Even Medford flirting with those triple digits with highs into the upper 90s today. We're going to get a little bit of relief on the backside of the weekend, but really taking it slow, a little extra water, finding the air conditioning going to be a good idea, especially considering we've got the potential to see multiple record highs across this region. Now, as we look towards the east, we've got temperatures into the 70s in Cincinnati, upper 70s for Birmingham. So those numbers below normal. We're going to see kind of a mixed bag here, and we'll start to see some more warmth getting back into the picture for parts of the middle of the country. So 80s return tomorrow for Des Moines, feeling like summer, but move just to the east to Buffalo, and you've got temperatures just topping out into the mid-50s. So that leaves us with what's to come next week, and it's the upper 80s for Nashville, 90s on tap Tuesday, and we kind of moderate out west as well with more mild conditions ending up in the picture for us. Here's the big picture of your satellite and radar, though. We've got rain already across the Ohio Valley, some thunderstorms across parts of Texas, and rain moving out for the mid-Atlantic. But don't get too used to the dry conditions for the mid-Atlantic because we've got more rain on the way. This ends up, that rain ends up sliding into our backyard in parts of the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast over the next couple of days, guys. That means soggy conditions and potential for flooding across this region for the first half of our weekend before we start to see things drying out.
Oof, all right, but it's coming. Angie, thank you so much.
In Washington, President Trump's trade tariffs are back on for now, temporarily. An appeals court ruled Thursday that the levies could remain in place while the administration appeals that decision by a trade court, which blocked most of the tariffs. That court said the president overstepped his authority by imposing those tariffs on America's trading partners. NBC News Chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander joins us with more on this. Peter, good morning.
Joe, Savannah, good morning to each of you. One day the tariffs are on, the next they are off. Well, for the moment, they're back on again. This tariff legal fight injecting a new round of uncertainty into the global trade system, leaving businesses across this country in limbo right now, really left trying to predict what's going to happen next and when it will happen. And it all comes as the White House is looking to get some of America's trading partners to the table. This morning, President Trump's tariffs are back on for now after a day of whiplash. A federal appeals court temporarily pausing a ruling that would have halted the tariffs. Less than 24 hours earlier, the Court of International Trade had ruled that the president does not have unlimited authority to impose them. Overnight, President Trump lashing out on Truth Social at that panel, which includes a judge he appointed, calling the ruling so wrong and so political. Some of the president's advisors have warned the courts that a negative ruling could hurt the White House's ability to negotiate with other countries after promising to reach 90 deals in 90 days, with that July 9th deadline quickly approaching and little progress to show for it. The Treasury Secretary acknowledging yesterday that talks with China, one of the key targets of the tariff plan, are now in a holding pattern until the two countries' leaders talk.
I would say that they are a bit stalled.
The head of one of the nation's largest ports, Los Angeles, that's already seen a steep drop in ships arriving from overseas, making clear the legal back and forth adds a new layer of uncertainty to the global supply chain. Entrepreneur Alfred Mai, who owns a party game company, says he's had to dip into his personal savings to keep his business afloat.
The whiplash and the uncertainty has essentially paralyzed my business.
The president writing that if he had to wait for Congress's approval to impose tariffs, quote, this would completely destroy presidential power. While this week he has used one presidential power that does not require Congress, issuing a flurry of pardons for high-profile names, including reality TV stars Todd and Julie Crisley, convicted by a jury in 2022 for defrauding banks of more than $30 million. The Crisleys now free and back out in public.
All right, here we go.
Their daughter Savannah posting from a shopping trip with her dad. Savannah Crisley had heavily lobbied the White House for her parents' release and personally received the news from President Trump this week. And overnight, the president also announced that today will be Elon Musk's last day working for the White House, but the president says not really, because he will always be with us, helping all the way. The president has scheduled a farewell event in the Oval Office in Musk's honor this afternoon. Joe, Savannah.
All right, Peter, thank you so much. Let's get more on these economic developments with NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Chung. Brian, here we go again. Today we talk to you. It's a different story. So this latest thing, I mean, we're kind of in limbo right now, but for consumers and businesses, what does this mean?
Yeah, well, it means that the uncertainty is continuing, right? Put yourself in the shoes of a retailer that's trying to make sure that their store shelves are fully stocked for the holidays, right? I know that we're 6 months away from Black Friday, but nonetheless, now is the time that you have to put those orders in. Why? Because it takes months to get manufactured in another country and then months to get on ship to get over here to the United States. So right now, they're trying to figure out how much do I order? Do I cancel my order? And yesterday in the morning, if you thought that there weren't going to be tariffs and then you had lunch and then afterwards you found out that actually the tariffs are back on, this doesn't give you any more certainty. There's now a legal layer over what was already a political layer of uncertainty. And I think that for every day that we see one of these businesses, big or small, deal with that uncertainty, that's another day that they're considering raising prices on us, the consumer.
Let's talk about markets, investors, how they're reacting. This new term that we talked about yesterday has come up, taco, sort of like, are they now expecting this whiplash? Is it helping anything, or what is it doing to markets?
See, the problem with taco is that if you are a CEO and you're looking at your numbers, you're not going to assume that Trump is going to chicken out, right? You're assuming for the worst case scenario. That's what Trump always chickens out. But we've seen this already in earnings. Companies are projecting the kind of worst case scenario for these tariffs, the latest being Gap. They projected $100 to $150 million of a hit because of the Trump tariffs. Actually, in some scenarios, as much as $200 million or even over that. There are other companies like Best Buy and Macy's, again, consumer-facing names that have said their profits are going to take a hit in the short term as a result of this. Again, all of this is kind of cascading, even with this legal kind of wrinkle here.
So in theory, the Trump administration would argue these tariffs are going to lead to trade deals or at least trade negotiations. But if you don't know the tariffs are going to happen and you're another country, then that, I have to imagine, means you don't really know if you need to negotiate a trade deal, right?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. And I don't think any country is going to say, well, I'm not going to, pick up the phone anymore because of this development out of the courts here in the United States. But if you're a negotiator in the EU, a negotiator in India, a negotiator in China, you're looking at the situation and going, well, if the U.S. courts haven't even decided if the president has the authority to unilaterally put a 10% blanket tariff on every country around the world, well, maybe you don't have as much urgency to go to the negotiating table. I think that definitely enters the fold as well.
All right. Brian, thank you so much.
Thanks, Brian. Great to have you here. There's a big legal victory this morning for Harvard University in its ongoing battle with President Trump regarding foreign students. A federal judge has extended a temporary order blocking the Trump administration's revocation of Harvard's ability to enroll international students. This comes after the White House said it would give Harvard 30 days to challenge this. NBC News correspondent Stephanie Gosk joins us from Cambridge, Massachusetts, with the latest on this back and forth. Hey, Steph, good morning.
Hey, Savannah, good morning. The foreign student visa case is just one of the battles right now that Harvard is fighting against the Trump administration. And while they did have a victory yesterday, this fight is far from over, and there is confusion and fear among foreign students. Some saying they worry they may not be able to come back in the fall, and others telling the school they want to transfer altogether.
As Harvard celebrates its class of 2025, the university also welcoming a partial legal victory after a federal judge extended an order, for now, blocking the Trump administration from revoking international student visas at the school. At Thursday's commencement, Harvard's president getting a standing ovation, even as the school and its foreign students find themselves in legal limbo.
You can't go back to Russia? Why?
No, I will be arrested, most probably, because I worked in human rights. I worked against the regime, and I did a lot of public work against the war in Ukraine.
That includes the newly elected student body president from Pakistan.
International students have found themselves in the middle of this crossfire, something none of them signed up for.
The administration wants direct oversight over Harvard's curriculum and hiring practices, with President Trump repeatedly accusing the school of anti-Semitism. Homeland Security is also demanding disciplinary information about all of Harvard's international students. Nicholas Burns is a professor at Harvard's Kennedy School of Government, where more than half of the students come from other countries.
We want them to have had the experience of studying with other students from around the world, because the United States doesn't live in an island.
Can I ask that our international students stand for a moment?
Burns also served as ambassador to China, which the State Department is now targeting, saying it will aggressively revoke visas for Chinese students studying critical fields or with connections to the Chinese Communist Party, a move that extends far beyond Harvard, targeting more than 250,000 students currently attending school in the U.S.
Our beef is not with the 1.4 billion Chinese citizens. They're not the problem. We should want them to be able to visit our country as tourists or stay as students if they're law-abiding, and we shouldn't close the door to that kind of opportunity.
The judge in the foreign student visa case has not set a future hearing date, so that could go on for months. But Harvard is also suing the Trump administration for freezing more than $2 billion in grant money. That money, they say, goes to research for things like cutting-edge cancer and also other scientific research. Savannah.
All right, Stephanie, thank you so much.
This morning, the NYPD is confirming that 2 detectives are under investigation for possible ties to the men accused of kidnapping and torturing a crypto investor.
Multiple sources close to the case tell NBC News that one of the detectives in question is part of Mayor Eric Adams' security detail. NBC News correspondent Sam Brock joins us with the latest on this one. Hi, Sam. Good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning. This is another significant twist.
Yeah.
It was already a pretty bizarre story. So the NYPD right now said in a statement that Internal Affairs is involved. The 2 of their members, detectives, have been placed on modified duty. That means, guys, no gun, no badge for the time being. When asked about a potential connection to the grisly case with his own security detail, New York City Mayor Eric Adams said he has no information, but he's confident they'll find out exactly what happened. The crypto kidnapping case against 2 investors accused of abducting and torturing an Italian tourist for his Bitcoin password, only for him to escape barefoot 17 days later, just took another unexpected twist. Multiple sources familiar with the case telling NBC News 2 members of the NYPD are being investigated for potential ties to those very suspects. The police department acknowledging members of the service were modified. The matter is under internal review. NBC New York reporting that one of those detectives is on Mayor Eric Adams' security detail, according to sources familiar with the case. Those sources say the detective from Adams' detail working off-duty picked up the Italian tourist at the airport and even provided security at the townhouse where authorities say he was being held. But it's unknown if the NYPD detectives were present at the time of the alleged crimes or had any knowledge of what was happening.
Only in New York. That's all I can say.
Overnight, Eric Adams asked about the case on Fox 5 New York.
I have no information on it. It's being investigated, and we'll find out exactly what happened. I have security personnel, and we don't know what they do in their private lives.
Former NYPD Chief of Department Terry Monahan says off-duty work for officers is common, but all requests must be vetted and pre-approved. How would we characterize what their roles may have been?
Ever since the Louis Mangione thing and the attack on the United CEO, a lot of CEOs and people with wealth have been asking for protection, people that are going to provide security for them. So it appears that's what these officers were doing. That is all part of the investigation, how deeply involved they were in the personal security for these 2 individuals.
Adding another layer to the case, multiple sources familiar with the investigation say a firearm was recovered at that Soho property. As for that firearm, guys, according to multiple people briefed on the case, it is not a department-issued weapon. They are investigating whether it's a personal gun of either detective and what it was doing on site. As for the men accused of the kidnapping, attorneys for both are not commenting on the case. We should note the suspect, which we saw earlier in his bathrobe, John Woltz, as he was being arrested, he was denied bail yesterday after a grand jury indictment. The second suspect, William Duplessis, is still awaiting his own indictment. He's in court later today.
All right, a lot of questions being raised here. We'll see how it all sorts out. Sam, thank you.
Twists and turns. Wow, thank you. Well, the next phase of Karen Read's second murder trial begins today as the defense prepares to call its own witnesses. Prosecutors rested their case yesterday following 23 days of testimony from dozens of witnesses. Read is accused of striking her ex-boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, with her car and leaving him for dead. NBC News senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett has been following this case closely, and she joins us with the latest.
Hey there. Part of what has people so transfixed about this case is the idea that Read was possibly framed by police. But the prosecution has been focused elsewhere, this time around building their case with data and with science. The question now, does the defense team shift its strategy as well?
The retrial of Karen Read entering a new chapter this morning, with her defense team now expected to begin presenting evidence.
I feel very good, thank you.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth rests.
The prosecution resting Thursday after more than a month of testimony. The jury hearing from nearly 40 witnesses as the state tries to prove Read plowed an SUV into her then-boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, leaving him to die in the snow. Read's first trial ended with a deadlocked jury, but this time around, prosecutors appear to have a new, streamlined strategy, focusing on experts, like a neurosurgeon who testified that O'Keefe suffered from blunt trauma to the head associated with falling backward. And Dr. Johnson Welcher, a crash reconstruction expert who walked jurors through a meticulous recreation of what prosecutors believe happened. Using the exact same make and model of Reed's Lexus SUV, Welcher even replicating O'Keefe's clothes from the night of his death.
I'm actually wearing the same make and size shoes as Mr. O'Keefe, the same brand of jeans as Mr. O'Keefe, the same brand and size shirt.
The biggest difference between the first and second trial so far, prosecutors now able to use Reed's own words from various televised interviews against her, playing clips for the jury, including one where she reveals a potentially crucial conversation with her attorney.
So I thought, could I have run him over? I've always got the music blasting. It's snowing. I got the wipers going, the heater blasting. Did he come and hit the back of my car and I hit him in the knee and he's drunk and passed out and asphyxiated or something? When I hired David Yannetti, I asked him those questions. What if I ran his foot over? Or what if I clipped him in the knee? And David said, yeah, then you have some element of culpability.
NBC Boston's Sue O'Connell, who has been in the court for the trial, says it's too early to tell how it's all landing with the jury.
They have seen a lot of clips so far in this trial, so they had virtually no visible reaction to me in seeing that last clip.
All along, Reed has maintained her innocence, with her legal team suggesting O'Keefe was killed sometime after she dropped him off at the house filled with law enforcement officers. The looming question now, whether it all leads to Reed taking the stand in her own defense this time around.
What do you expect from the defense? Will you testify?
TBD. The defense will pick up with his first witness when court resumes this morning. Back to you.
All right, Laura, thank you so much. We've got NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalas here now to help us break this down more. Danny, good morning. So we just heard some of these new strategies from prosecutors, including, obviously playing video. It's her own words there. What do you think could have been the most successful for them, really done a lot of impact for the jury?
I think that might have been it, because it certainly is something they didn't have the first time around, because she hadn't given those interviews yet. And there's nothing so damning as a client or a defendant's own words in an ill-advised interview. By the way, this is why we tell all our clients, don't talk to the press, don't give interviews. And especially in the documentary space, you can imagine, I'm sure both of you can imagine, that in the documentary space, they take hours and hours and hours of just conversation, and you can just grab some sound bites from that, and it looks really bad. And I think it looks really bad for Karen Reed here, too.
When it comes to the defense now taking over, what's the biggest obstacle it faces?
So this is really interesting. The question for me is, will they take the same strategy that they did the last time? It doesn't feel like they're pushing the whole conspiracy theory quite as much. We may see them bring that up in their own evidence and their own witnesses, but on cross, it didn't feel like they developed that as extensively as they did the first time around. They may go with their theme from the opening, which is simply there was no collision, and say it's on them to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that there was a collision, and they haven't done it.
So that whole idea, obviously, of beyond a reasonable doubt. If you are the defense, where are you poking holes to make reasonable doubt exist in the mind of at least a couple jurors?
We've already seen a preview, and some of that is that, for example, in the case of the expert, that some of the data that they used may have been compromised. They exploited the fact that one of the state's experts had some real problems with his resume. So the state really needs to emphasize, hey, people may have had some errors or even some arguably false statements on their resume. It doesn't change the data. The data is sound, and that is what the defense needs to combat.
We just heard Karen Reed there say TBD as to whether she'll testify. Do you think we'll hear from her, or do you think we'll hear from Michael Proctor, who was the lead investigator in the case, fired for how he handled it?
If I'm betting, I think no from Karen Reed, although she has a constitutional right to testify. Take a look at how she did in the relaxed setting of a documentary, and now all those words are coming back to haunt her. I don't think she's sophisticated enough to handle cross-examination. As to Michael Proctor, I wouldn't be surprised if nobody called Michael Proctor. Proctor, however, has said in numerous instances that no matter what happened with his discipline, that the investigation was conducted with integrity. So too did Trooper Buchanan, who did testify. And there is an argument to be made that whatever text messages he sent, the investigation itself was conducted properly.
Danny, this has been one where, honestly, I don't know if I go on TikTok and don't see a TikTok in a day about this trial. One of those ones that's just really captivated people's attention, live streaming during information, stuff like that. How has that impacted this? How do you think it could impact this as we move forward?
This is really interesting. Maybe you found the same thing. I find that people either have barely heard of this case or they're utterly consumed with it. It's one of those cases that I constantly get messages from people I haven't talked to in years, like, what did you think of this testimony? People are watching this gavel to gavel the way they did with the OJ trial. And I know you kids don't remember the OJ trial, but I do.
OJ trial.
and people watched it. They gave up their lives to watch this case. And you're absolutely right. Does that seep into the jurors' collective consciousness? It could. It's really hard to not see what's going on around you as a juror. It's just not realistic to think they've heard nothing and seen nothing about this case. And that could go either way. It could cut for the defense. It could cut for the prosecution. It's really hard to say.
As long as we don't see a juror on TikTok, that would be bad.
That would be bad.
All right.
Back to square one. Thanks, Danny. There's much more to come on this hour of Morning News Now, including the hot summer travel destination now cracking down on one big flyer faux pas.
First, after the break, a new U.S.-backed ceasefire deal in the Middle East thrown into question this morning. We've got the latest as thousands of hungry Palestinians struggle to access vital humanitarian aid there. Stay with us. Welcome back. On Thursday, the White House announced this ceasefire proposal has been presented to bring an end to the war in Gaza. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters that Steve Witkoff, that's President Trump's special envoy to the Middle East, has submitted the outlines of an agreement to both Israel and Hamas. Leavitt added that Israel signed off on the proposal before it was sent to Hamas.
This comes as desperation for aid on the ground in Gaza is growing deadly. A new aid system, it's backed by the U.S. and Israel, is off to a chaotic start as thousands of hungry Palestinians have overwhelmed distribution centers.
NBC News international correspondent Molly Hunter joins us now from London with the latest on all this. Molly, good morning. So first, just what do we know about this ceasefire proposal, and how is Hamas responding?
Yeah, this outline, and the White House nor Witkoff's team have actually released this outline to the press. Apparently, they have shared it with the Israelis and Hamas. And Hamas actually shared some of the details of what they received from the Witkoff team with our team. So we understand that it's very similar to previous ceasefires. It's going to last about 60 days with a pause in fighting. Then it will be a three-phased release of hostages, starting with women and elderly and those in need of medical care. All of this very similar to previous ceasefires. And during that pause in fighting, negotiations over the release of Israeli soldiers and the number of Palestinian prisoners will continue, and importantly, mandating the entry of 600 aid trucks a day. Now, we did receive a statement from Hamas. It's an early statement. They say they're still looking at it, and I think we actually have that to put on screen. It says the response fails to meet any of the just and legitimate demands of our people, among them an immediate cessation of hostilities and an end to the humanitarian catastrophe unfolding in Gaza. Despite this, it adds Hamas leadership is currently undertaking a thorough and responsible review of the new proposal. We are asking both sides, including the Israelis and Hamas leadership, for a response, and we'll keep you guys posted.
Molly, the images, videos of out of Gaza of just this chaotic aid distribution, they are very difficult to watch. People desperate for food, other supplies. Walk us through what has happened over those first few days of, this is called the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. These operations here, you know, on its face, it seems like good news that some aid is finally getting in. But tell us what's been happening and if there's any way that this becomes more orderly.
Yeah, and as you say, Savannah, this is just the first few days, so we are trying to figure out kind of how it's all working as well. We are in touch with the so-called the GHF, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, and they were created by American contractors, as you say, allowed in by the Israelis to kind of manage the distribution of aid. Now, early this week, they said, and we're showing these videos, they are very hard to watch. They are disturbing to watch, Savannah. The foundation said for a brief moment, the GHF team intentionally relaxed security protocols to safeguard against crowd reactions to finally receiving food. Now, we did receive an update from them today just in the last couple of hours, and it says 6 truckloads of food have made it in. Aid was distributed without incident, Savannah. They also say that operations will continue scaling, including to the north of the Gaza Strip, and that they are actively testing and adapting its distribution model, though 6 trucks, though, is an absolute drop in the bucket compared to what this population, you see these people, very, very hungry, desperate population of Palestinians actually need to survive.
Molly, one more thing very quickly here in the West Bank. Israel said yesterday it would establish more than 20 Jewish settlements. What's Israel saying about the need for this? What does it mean for the West Bank?
Yeah, 20 settlements, 20 brand new settlements. Some of them are going in where outposts, so-called outposts, where some of them are absolutely kind of completely new. Now, under Israeli law, these will become legal. Under international law, though, you guys, Israeli settlements are considered illegal. Now, the defense minister, Katz, was the one who announced these. He actually went out to one of the settlements today, and he was very clear. He said the goal is to prevent a Palestinian state, and he was very harsh of the European critics who have already criticized this move and this announcement. Guys.
All right, Molly, thank you so much. Coming up, we're going to spell this one out for you. W-I-N-N-E-R.
After the break, we are chatting with the winner of this year's Scripps National Spelling Bee, 13-year-old Faizan Zaki. So what was the magic word that sealed the deal for him? We will ask Faizan himself live up next.
After a tension-filled 3 days of competition, we've got a new spelling champion.
Eclaircissement. E-C-L-A-I-R-C-I-S-S-E-M-E-N-T. Eclaircissement.
That is correct.
Can't even pronounce the word, yet alone spell it. All right, 13-year-old Faizan Zaki from Plano, Texas, won the Scripps National Spelling Bee in its 100th year of competition.
I mean, have you ever heard that?
No.
I mean, I'm just like in shock. The 7th grader who came in 2nd place last year showed no hesitation when spelling his last word. This is his 4th appearance in the competition.
We are lucky Faizan joins us this morning. Good morning. Congratulations on your big win. I do have to warn you, you're speaking with someone who won a few elementary school spelling bees back in the day.
He likes to bring it up when possible.
Words like embarrass. I think I did reconnaissance once.
You did, because I heard this story.
Very exciting. I lost in 2nd grade on the word road. I got the road mixed up. I said R-O-A-D. It was actually R-O-D-E. All right, Faizan, enough about me. How are you feeling? What was going through your mind when you won the championship? Congrats.
It was just so amazing. So when I got my word, I instantly recognized it, and I was just I just wanted to get it over with. I was really tired. You could hear I was like kind of gasping for air at the end when I was spelling the last 4 letters, and so I was just really excited and like hyperventilating and everything. So yeah.
Faizan, you are 13, I am 33, and you instantly recognize that word. I've had 20 more years of life to try to know those words, and I don't. What do you mean you instantly recognize it? Like, how do you get to a place where you instantly recognize a word like that?
So at some point when you're like studying, you just you get to the point where you're able to see a word and you instantly recognize it. I think if you gave me any other word, I probably would have been able to recognize it other than Kamalina. But yeah.
So here's the deal. A year ago, you actually came in 2nd place. So after that happened, what went through your mind? Did you commit yourself to coming back and winning the following year? What did you learn from last year?
So last year I learned that, so I think I got a little too cocky since they sprung a spell off on me and I wasn't prepared for that. So I think what I learned from that was that I need to prepare for everything, not just spelling. There are more aspects to it.
Tell us about a spell off.
So basically a spell off is it's kind of like a lightning round where you have to spell as many words as possible in 90 seconds. I had to do that in 2024, and I was able to do 20 for my first time, 20 out of 25 in 90 seconds. My opponent, Bruhat, was able to do 29 out of 30, so he won that.
Wow. All right. Well, but you are the winner this time,
Yeah,
Faizan.
you are.
We are so proud of you. Congratulations on everything.
And so impressed by you.
Thank you.
Congrats. Well, the summer travel season is swinging into high gear, so we thought it might be a good time for a quick refresher on the do's and don'ts of flying. Here to help us with that is NBC News correspondent Jesse Kirsch. He is at Miami International Airport. He's going to help us all be polite. He's going to give us some travel etiquette reminders. Jesse, good morning.
Good day to you. Let's start with some etiquette right there. Some of it's in the gray area, but then there are things that are rules set in stone. And now travelers heading to one specific international destination are getting a fresh warning about potential new consequences.
This morning, the summer travel season is taking off.
Please don't take your shoes off in the plane.
And along with it, a laundry list of pet peeves from the flying public.
Okay, where's the fire, huh?
But now, one international destination is cracking down on bad behavior. The Turkish government says it will fine flyers who unbuckle their seatbelt and stand up before the seatbelt sign goes off after the plane lands.
We all have to abide by the same rules, and it's not fair for people getting up and trying to leave the plane before it's their time.
Here in the U.S., the FAA says passengers must have their seatbelts properly secured during taxiing, takeoff, landing, and any other time when instructed to by crew members. Adding unruly passengers can be fined up to $37,000 and could also face criminal prosecution. While those requirements are crystal clear, some rules are unwritten and up for debate.
Oh, man. No.
Whoever decided that you should be able to play games on the screens that sit on the back of the airplane seats, jail, straight to jail.
Playing games, touching the screen a bunch, yes or no?
No to heavy taps.
Etiquette expert Thomas Farley, known as Mr. Manners, says we should think about everyone else on the plane when we act in the air.
We can't do anything about the legroom, but we can certainly do a whole lot about the way we act towards our fellow passengers and the cabin team as well.
Help me.
In the summer months, we have people travel who rarely travel. And what that means is they're just not as familiar with the rules.
We asked travelers in Miami how they feel about some hot-button issues.
So if you're in the aisle, you're not allowed to sleep?
Yeah, no.
On the window or the aisle? Should the person in the middle get both armrests?
No.
No?
No, I think so. I think
it's called play.
That's like the one thing they have is the two armrests.
There's also the so-called gate lice issue. People crowding the boarding area before their group is called.
People who are crowding the boarding gate. What do you say to them?
Again, pack patience.
And then there's the question Shakespeare himself surely could never have foreseen.
To recline or not to recline?
Recline, obviously, yeah. Recline.
What if you get like that gentle nudge from someone behind you?
Then I'll recline further.
So she's doubling down there. No matter what you decide, we've all got to play along with each other, especially because the TSA says that more than 2 million people are getting screened regularly on a daily basis. Imagine that, more than 2 million people. And the FAA says this summer, the busiest day of the week to travel is going to be Thursday. So please, for everyone's sake, if you're traveling, especially on a Thursday, consider fresh socks. Back to you guys.
And keep your shoes on.
Love it. We've got an in-house debate.
I just have to say, I will say, if you're going to recline, look at the person behind you. If they're 6'2", I'm 6'3", or taller, don't recline because you will make their ride miserable. You literally have that person like on your knees.
But if you turn around,
it's impossible.
I'm very
if you turn around,
pro-recline.
you're just going to have that awkward interaction.
I sneak
totally
a look.
agree.
I admit,
Thank you,
I
Jesse.
sneak a look. If the person's like not that tall, I'll be like, okay, I can
Very
recline a little.
pro-recline.
As soon as you turn around, you're in trouble.
No, you...
Thanks, Jesse. Thank you. However I can most probably say that.
Sir.
Well, coming up, today marks the end of a very special era here at NBC News.
Yeah, when we return, our own Lester Holt is going to join us here ahead of his last nightly news broadcast, which is airing later tonight. We're going to look back on his years of unmatched reporting, as well as a few personal memories. That is next. It is a bittersweet day for us here at NBC News. Our friend and colleague Lester Holt is getting ready to anchor his final broadcast of NBC Nightly News.
Lester's leaving behind the daily grind of Nightly to focus full-time on Dateline. Our friend today, anchor Savannah Guthrie, takes a look back as we pay tribute to Lester's decade-long run as anchor and managing editor.
Nightly News begins right now.
For 10 years, Lester Holt has helmed the ship at Nightly News. The calm in the storm.
The levees holding in New Orleans.
He's guided us through some of our darkest moments.
Did you hear the shooting?
2 times, yes.
In rooms filled with power, Lester never raised his voice.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe.
But won't let answers go unchallenged.
I was going to fire Comey. There's no good time to do it, by the way.
Because in your letter you said I accepted their recommendation.
Yeah, well,
so you had already made the decision.
I was going to fire regardless.
A voice trusted on the biggest nights.
Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Republican presidential debate. Live coverage of election night.
And where others rush, Lester reflects.
Remember, we're in this together, and together may be the only way we find our way out of this.
But even his calm can crack when the story gets close.
My grandmother was a Houston, and there's a Houston here, and I have to call my father. It's phone calls to make.
Yes.
Oh, no,
Here at Today, we know Lester is not afraid of a little fun or adventure.
Okay.
Slowly, slowly. Come on.
And he'll take any chance to bust out that bass. Now he'll have a little more time for his music as he steps away from the daily rhythm of nightly news. Tonight, Lester signs off one last time.
Please take care of yourself and each other. Now people think I'm a dancer and a musician. I also do the news.
We're lucky, as you can see, Lester's here live with us. Lester, we have some questions we want to ask you, but we're going to begin by just lavishing praise on you, some memories. We showed, as viewers might have seen as we headed to break, us both, like, quite young with you. And I actually remember, that's me, I was 18 years old. I was an intern at NBC San Diego. You were in town, and I remember nervously asking my boss, like, do you think I could ask Lester if he'd take a picture with me?
And did I snap your head off?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say is you were just as kind to me in that moment as I also remember the first time I was on Nightly. It was a really cool experience because my first time, we actually did a story together because we were both MediaWise ambassadors.
Yes, that's right.
And we did this stand-up together, and there were some audio issues going on. You were, like, so chill, so nice through the whole thing, excited for me about my first time on the broadcast, and it's just like, it's not everybody who's like that through those, like, that much time passes, the different positions I was in, intern to correspondent, and, like, you were the best.
I mean, I always live by the principle we all matter. There's no small player here at a place like this, the collaboration that is required of us every day to get our programs on the air. So I've always been very, grounded. And if you're confident in what you do, if you're not insecure and you love the art of being a journalist, then just surround yourself by nice people and let's go do it.
I'll just say, like, obviously, there was the photo I showed, which was, I think, us in the LA Bureau posing with some of our colleagues a while ago. I was younger, but not young back then. When I was first, and there was us with Hallie Jackson right there. I first met you, or was exposed to you. I didn't meet you in college because I went to school in Chicago, and you were the anchor who was on my television while I was working on my projects in Lewis Hall. I would watch Lester Holt on the television screen. Goodness. So I've been admiring you for the longest time in the world. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. It's not, I get a lot of people stopping me on the street. Hey, congratulations, you're retired. I'm like, oh, man, I'm not ready to do that yet. There will come a day, but this isn't it. When I found out I could, just step aside and then take on a bigger role at Dateline, which is, my other passion. I mean, this is a show, as you know, is driven by the best storytellers in the business. So it just seemed right. I mean, when you get to my age, you obviously have these conversations with yourself. What will the exit look like? What will be standing back? And this was the kind of the perfect mix. I can't say I'm going to miss some of the, day-to-day pace of the show, but I'm going to miss the people. I'm going to miss just being at the center of the national conversation every night and being a viewer. And you know what I'm really going to really enjoy? Having dinner at a decent time. Because we get off the air
before 7.
Yeah, we get off the air at 7. You know the drill. And then by the time you get home, it's 7:45, 8 o'clock. You're eating at 8:30. So
little blue plate special.
I know, that seems like a crazy. This whole thing is centered around my dinner. I want you to know that.
He wants to be on a different intermittent fasting schedule. Lester, tell us, like, it's probably hard to narrow anything down, but, like, if you just think about the experiences that these particular 10 years have given you, what sticks out?
It's the resilience of people. Excuse me. we cover people in at their darkest moments, their lowest moments. You know, we come rolling into town when there's been a catastrophe or a disaster. And the thing that always strikes me is I look at people and I'm thinking, how would I be in those circumstances? How would I be if that was my mother's house that got blown away or whatever? How would I treat those people? So I try to mirror that emotion, and I'm always struck at how people, no matter how low blow they've taken, they just manage to somehow put one foot in front of the other and get up and move on. And I think it's a great message for all of us that we can, that we have this something innate in us that, you know, we will survive, we will figure it out. And we as witnesses, you know, to all of life's, you know, different emotions and events, you know, we see that and we understand it. And I internalize it as a journalist.
Can I say, though, they might not share their story with everyone. They do with you.
Well, I mean, you know, listen, building trust is
Yeah.
part of what we do, and it's, you know, it's something that sometimes, you know, takes time, and people get to know you, and you know, fortunately, I've had that time and been able to develop a relationship with the viewers. That was one of my proudest moments of meeting the Pope a few weeks ago.
Moments ago.
Yeah.
The Pope's like, there's Lester, we're stopping.
Yeah.
I mean, empathy is essential to what we do, and you have it just in spades, which I think is why you've been so successful. It's hard to pick one moment in the last 10 years, but is there something that just stands out that was most powerful to you, or just your proudest moment?
Yeah, I think my proudest moment was how we, as an organization, came together during COVID. I think for the viewer, it seemed very seamless. You know, at first I didn't want to let anyone know that we weren't in the studio. We were in a bedroom in my New York condo. But the way we quickly got on the air, stayed on the air, transitioned to that, we were able to launch Nightly News Kids Edition as a direct response to the fear that we imagine that kids must be experiencing. You know, it's easy to forget those dark days, but I remember, you know, reporting refrigerator trucks in the streets of Manhattan holding, you know, bodies. And, you know, so we were trying to find out how can I convey a sense of, hey, I'm in this too, and we're all fighting through this. And so I thought it was how we dealt with it. I thought was a really proud moment.
And you gave us comfort, which I think was key through all of that.
Well, you know, I don't know if I was necessarily trying for comfort, but just kind of a reassurance. Maybe it's the same thing. But, you know, a reassurance that, you know, we're in this together, that we're going to tell you what we know, tell you what we don't know, because there was, you know, those were confusing times.
Lester Holt, you take care of yourself, because you've been taking care of all of us, and you're not going far.
Nope.
We're out of time, but tell us quickly, like, you are here.
I'm going to continue my role as anchor of Dateline, but also be expanding my footprint and doing more hours, more you know, direct reporting myself. So I've got some projects in the edit room, and we'll, you know, be unveiling those later this year. But
so very much
appreciate you guys having me on.
Absolutely.
We
Congrats,
look forward to
Lester.
what's
We
next.
love you. We love you.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, if it's Friday, that can mean only one thing. We have got your ticket to absolutely everything from the world of entertainment you simply can't miss. Stay with us.
Coming up. All right, finally this hour on this busy Friday, it means it's time for Can't Miss List.
Yeah, look at all the films, shows, and songs that you need to see and hear this weekend.
We are joined by our friend, entertainment journalist, pop culture expert, friend of the show, Brian Balthazar. Hey. Brian, we love when you're here for this. Great to have you.
Good to see you.
Okay, we got to start with Karate Kid.
Right. Okay, so interestingly, this is kind of a combination of the original and the 2010 remake stories kind of merged into a new one. Interestingly, you know, we're seeing a lot of this. 34 films this year are either prequels, sequels, remakes, or some kind of reiteration of existing IP. So this is going to be a good one, though. We're expected to see about 25 to 30 million come in for the box office. You can't do this film without Ralph Macchio.
No.
Jackie Chan is in this also, who got injured and persevered and kept shooting anyway, because that's what you do when you're Jackie Chan.
Jeez,
hopefully we'll see the crane, right?
Right.
It's like,
yes, I'm sure they have to work that in. It's a travesty if they don't. It's about a young kung fu prodigy, karate, I should say, prodigy, who then comes to the U.S. and, you know, overcomes adversity.
All right, that'll be a big one. All right, so after decades of praise for Jane Austen, we now have something called Jane Austen Wrecked My Life. It's a rom-com, right?
This is so great. Yeah, you watch this trailer and you're like, I remember when we used to make movies like this. I love this. It's about a young woman who works at a bookstore,
what a great way to put it.
right? And she's a writer, and her friend secretly enrolls her in this Jane Austen writing residency, and she gets in, and then, of course, love unfolds, but it's not that simple. There's going to be a love triangle, some awkwardness, but it's beautiful. It's in French and English, a little bit of subtitles. Really beautiful story. I'm really looking forward to this one. Limited release right now, but then it's going to go wide.
Also, if there's the subtitles, it means you have to put your phone down and pay attention. I like when that happens.
Exactly.
Okay, if you're staying in, let's talk some streaming stuff, especially with all the rain here.
Yeah.
Steve Carell, Mountainhead, is that right?
Yes.
This is called?
Yeah, this is from the director of Succession. This is actually his feature film debut as a director. And it's interesting because it's a bunch of tech people who go to this crazy kind of fortress on the top of a ski mountain. Kind of reminds you of the last season of Succession when you think about it.
Cool.
Yeah. And there's this sort of global financial crisis. They're all up there, all of these tech whizzes that are gazillionaires, and then their secrets start to unfold. There's a little bit of an AI play into this storyline and maybe some responsibility on the part of some of these tech whizzes. I think this is going to be interesting, and it's interesting to see Steve Carell in a non-comedy role.
I'm sure they're all great people, too.
Exactly.
All right.
Wouldn't make much of a movie, would it?
No one does a murder mystery like the British.
It's true.
This one's called Death Valley.
Okay, this is interesting. This is the story of a man who was a TV detective.
Okay.
Now he's older, and a real detective enlists his help in solving a crime. But of course, the detective can't really tell her peers that, oh yeah, I'm using this old TV detective. And there's an interesting backstory to the TV detective of why he suddenly kind of like reboots his life a little bit, because he's been kind of mourning the loss of his a family member of his family, but it's interesting British comedy. We love crime solving. You can't go wrong with this.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, I'm really excited about the next one. I didn't even realize it's time already, and just like that, the Sex and the City's come up. It's back.
Just like that, it's back.
Yes. Okay, so Carrie is back in new digs, which we saw some of last year. She's now writing fiction. Possibly a new love interest. We see that Patti LuPone and Rosie O'Donnell will be making an appearance. Rosie O'Donnell, it's rumored, her character might have been like a one-night stand with Miranda, and we're going to see if that's like a one-off or if there's a recurring character thing happening.
There's rats, apparently.
There's rats and over-the-top...
New York.
Over-the-top costumery.
Yeah.
Look at that, like as you would walking down Manhattan Street.
Extremely unrealistic apartment, like what that thing would cost.
It is a fantasy. It is a fantasy film. It is no different than Lord of the Rings. You watch and be like, this could happen.
But she's rich now. It's okay. Now it makes sense.
No, all right. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, you two fans, we got like 40 seconds left here. We have two music headlines, essentially, but one is Bono and a documentary about him.
Yes, this is interesting. Stories of Surrender on Apple+. It's basically his show, singing his songs, but telling the stories behind the stories. You have a Bono savant here right in house, in Chris LeClaire, one of your producers. He can tell you everything you need to know.
Okay.
But you guys should watch it on Apple+. Really great storytelling. This is the photography we've come to expect from you two, and Bono too, by the way. And it's just really heartfelt, taken from, I think, the Beacon Theater, some of his shows at the Beacon Theater.
Last thing is just an announcement, because we're out of time. Miley Cyrus, new album.
music.
Awesome. Brian, we love you.
She keeps getting better. That's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now.
Don't go anywhere. The news continues right now.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.